Hi Anil Verma, how are you?
We're all muted actually.
Yeah,
I think
everyone is muted.
given the option to unmute.
Yeah, I understand.
So,
Hari Kumar sir, good evening.
Admiral sir also saying the same thing.
Yeah, he was saying, yes, that's right.
That's okay. We'll just start now.
Yeah, we'll start now. Okay, right. I was thinking whether we hit 6 first or 100 first, Madhav.
We'll go on. We'll have a good crowd today for sure. Yeah.
This is called the agonizing 90s if you are a cricketer.
No. It's not very aggressive. They're consistently going up, so it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we'll start now.
Right. Get going. Okay.
Prajit, you can mute everybody else and we get started.
Right.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to this edition of a Leader Talk session of Kerala Management Association. We'll start the proceedings with a 1-minute silence, a prayer to the Almighty for good for everybody here and in the world to happen. Just close your eyes, be seated, and pray to the Godlet. Thank you, and once again, a very good evening to each one of you present here on the Zoom platform as well as on the YouTube online media. Welcome to this Leader Talk session of Kerala Management Association. As you all know, we have this lecture series going on for the past almost 10 months since the pandemic has hit us. Our immediate past president, Mr. Jibu Paul, started this series, and I thought this is appropriate to continue it during this year too. And this is in fact the third such lecture which is going to happen in this KMA year. As you all know, we had the inauguration happening in the month of November for this KMA year, when we had none other than the top executive of Government of Kerala, the Chief Secretary of Kerala, coming in and inaugurating the operations and activities of this year. And we had the Chairman of Life Insurance Corporation of India, Mr. M.R. Kumar, receiving the Management Leadership Award, the topmost honor, which is bestowed upon an individual leader by Kerala Management Association during that particular occasion. Thereafter, we had two Leader Talks sessions by two eminent personalities. The one by Mr. Naresh Kumar Pinisetti. He's the president of Deepak Fertilizers. And number two, we had last week with Dr. Santosh Ragnekar, the professor at IIT Roorkee, talking on servant leadership. In between, we had a startup conversation, which is a new series which we have started this year, where we'll have panel discussions of having eminent entrepreneurs who have made it big by having their startup being initiated. We had two of them coming up last month. We had Sujit Bhaskaran and Ms. Fauzi Nizam coming and discussing their success stories with our program committee chair, past president, Mr. S.R. Nair. And today we have the third of the Leader Talk series, where we have another eminent leader, the president of the renowned KCP Limited of Chennai, Dr. A.V. Sivarama Prasad, here with us today to share a particular topic of a lot of relevance right now in this confused state of affairs. The topic which he's going to dwell on is future of industry and people management. When the future of tomorrow itself is uncertain, let us listen to him and see what he has to talk about, what he is going to explain to us. As he was mentioning during the informal chat, he's actually going to give us a lecture because he is fond of talking to children, he said. So he can treat all of us as students and talk to us about this particular topic and understand what exactly he has in store to enlighten us in this confused state of affairs of the pandemic and other concerns which is plaguing the country and our state in particular, because the floods started it all in Kerala and it continued as a misery with pandemic also coming and taking over, or rather taking control of the situation. Well, before that, I just have one honor to perform here. That is, let me introduce our new executive director of Kerala Management Association, who has joined today. We have Mr. Jojo Jacob, very familiar face in Cochin. There he is. He has joined today as the Executive Director of Kerala Management Association. Welcome, Jojo, and all of you present here. You can, greet him later on. You can contact him for anything to do with the KMA office and secretariat. He will be there, and he is a very experienced person from the naval forces, and he has been in the industry of event management and other entertainment part for quite some time, for the last couple of decades. And he has come with a rich experience of holding events and conducting the programs like what we do. And I'm sure with this immense wealth of experience and expertise, KMA will definitely gain a lot with his presence. Thank you, Jojo, for joining KMA. And on behalf of all present here, I welcome you to KMA. And on behalf of the managing committee, let me wish you a great tenure as the Executive Director of Kerala Management Association.
Thank you
Congratulations
very
and all
much.
the best. So with that, let me welcome formally our chief guest of the day, Dr. A.V. Sivarama Prasad, for agreeing to be here with us. Thank you, SR, for getting this learned gentleman here to talk to us. And we are all ears and eyes to you, sir. And let me welcome on behalf of the managing committee members who are present here in large numbers, the past presidents of KMA, the members of KMA and other local management associations, and plenty of management students who have joined and who are still joining. Let me welcome you, sir, to this August gathering and to address us on this Leader Talk lecture series. And of course, I welcome each one of you present here, the past presidents, managing committee members, and all the leaders from inside KMA and outside KMA, members of the media, students, and invited guests. Welcome you all to this wonderful session which we are going to have from Mr. Dr. Prasad. And to introduce Dr. Prasad and to take over the session, let me invite our past president and the program committee chair, Mr. S.R. Nair. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, President Madhav, Chairman of this meeting and President of Kerala Management Association, Madhav Chandran, my dear past presidents, distinguished chief guest speaker today, Dr. A.V. Shivram Prasad, Managing Council members, members of KMA, students, invited ladies and gentlemen. Now, before I go into introducing Dr. A.V. Sivaram Prasad, let me do some little housekeeping announcements. So much as possible, keep your connections muted so that we don't get unnecessary noises coming in between. Okay, keep your questions till the end, and if you immediately want to put up a question, you can put a question in the chat box so that I can take care of that. And in the end, you will also have a link to the feedback form. So please link that, connect that, and give us a feedback for the purpose that we will be able to improve upon our leader talks as well as our endeavors in times to come. Now, I will do the announcements as far as our next programs after the session with session with Dr. A.V. Shivram Prasad. It is my proud honor to introduce Dr. Shivram Prasad to you. Doctor, it is actually an abridged version. If I really need to sit down and read his resume and his activities that he has undertaken so far, this will take a whole time. So I had abridged it and I've taken it shorter to see that, okay, and the rest of it, it will come from flow from him that you will know as to what sort of a person that you're talking to. Dr. A.V. Shivram Prasad holds a doctorate in management from the Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore, before which he has completed engineering, mechanical engineering from Bangalore. Okay. And he has more than a decade of experience in consulting at Tata Consulting Services, TCS. For a quarter of a century, Dr. Shivram Prasad is serving the KCP Group, which is presently as a president. He is responsible for the strategic planning for the entire group companies that dwell in heavy engineering, sugar, cement, power, software, biotechnology, hospitality, name it, and many more industry verticals. Okay. Dr. Prasad is a national resource person in the area of technology management. He has presented many papers and he has talked on many podiums on the subjects that you deal with. And he has presented many research papers in leading journals as well. Okay. He had received many awards in his career that include Lifetime Achievement Award from Genius Consultants, the CHRO of the Year Award from UBS Forms, HR Superachievers Award from World HRD Congress, and the Most Innovative Leader Award from Asia Pacific HRM Congress. My connect with Dr. Shivram Prasad goes to the ISTD, Indian Society for Training and Development, he headed one of the largest chapters that we have in the country, the Chennai chapter, last year. He has been part of the National Council of ISTD. He is also the part of the National Council of ISTD, where he is actually the chairman of the prestigious ISTD Diploma Board. Okay, so without much of time to waste, let me please welcome Dr. A.V. Shivram Prasad to speak to us on the future of industry and people management. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. S.R. Nair. And very good evening for President, Management Committee, and my dear students. It is really great privilege and pleasure to address you all for today's talk on future of industry and the people's management. What I mean is you have to look at the future in not today, it will be another 30, 35 years beyond. So then only we are able to see what is the changes is likely to happen in the world, not in India per se. Whatever the technology changes which is happening in elsewhere, it is going to come here within no time. That means very short time. So therefore, I try to give you the overall picture of industry. What I mean industry is manufacturing, agriculture, and service. All together for sector wise, I'll see what projections up to 200, 2050 and beyond. And the and also in relevance to uh, problems what we are facing now and how we have to overcome and what are the opportunities which we have, and especially the young population. As you know, demographic dividend for India, its age around 30 years now. So therefore, they're the people who have to carry forward the entire country into a global superpower status. So the new global economy is reshaping, reframing, and revolutionizing the economic, social, environment, industry, technology, and political ecology on almost in a day-to-day basis. Presently, India is the fifth largest economy in the world with the GDP of around $3 trillion. That's actually, it has come down a little bit, 2.275 because of pandemic. And the target as to achieve 5 trillion by the year 2024-25 to achieve fourth largest economy, only behind US, China, and Japan, and forefront in the knowledge economy compared to developed countries. Organization needs a systematic, effective, efficient vision, innovation, and technology to stay in the business, digital delight customers, and establish competitiveness and deliver quality products and services, cost effective and more productive, and meet business goals, attract and keep the best people in their organizations. So to lead the country's growth phase over the next few decades, one often wonder if we only the large young population is enough to achieve this growth, trajectory growth, which we are focusing, which would lead to India to a superpower status. It is possible. When you listen to me further, then you'll know why can't India can become superpower in another few years time. India has become the second largest market for e-learning after the USA. The sector is expected to reach 1.96 billion dollars by 2021 with around 9.5 million users. There are over 1,000 universities and 40,000 colleges in India. The estimated number of students is nearly 4 crores. So with this, now what is the HR transformation? It leads to the restructuring of organization in the future decade due to technology disruption and new generation of people, that's the millennials. In this disruption technology and hookah world, as we all seeing that the what is the complexity what we have, and in the world itself, the organization have realized the need for upskilling, updating multiple skills. Information and technology is essential for survival of their organizations. So disruptive forces of digital technology redefine the various business models. The promotion and adoption of digital technologies are becoming increasingly crucial. This is demonstrated by recent COVID pandemic, work from home, the concept which is widely used, digital transformation, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, Internet of Things, robotic process automation, and virtual meetings, virtual conference, what we have now, and virtual learning and development is also is happening in all over world, not only India. This is actually this pandemic has made people to understand, to implement in in an emergency way. It is not that without crisis this would have been taken long time. Otherwise, virtual meetings and virtual conferences never used to be thought of. So even including our ISTD, we are doing most of the thing. Even our diploma program is also has been run in a virtual platform. So therefore, when you're looking at the India, when I say the development in the world, which are looking at economy, technology, political environment, and defense, the mega changes is likely to be there. Exploration changes, primarily fascinating insights into what is the coming decade will bring to us. Changes happening around us, it's very scary. And because of environmental problem, I'll come to later in what is going to happen for the environment, which environment is going to talk to us, and also man-made problems, which is one of the best example is the COVID, is a man-made happening. There is every chance that world at 2050 will be richer, healthier, more connected, and more sustainable, more innovative, better educated, with less inequality between rich and poor, and men and women, higher living standards of quality of life, and sustainable future. These are the positive attitudes which is going to happen after 30 years. But before 30 years, what is our stake? So there are the problems which we have to encounter. And global economies will tilting towards Asia. Annual growth rate will be around 2.5% year by year. Annual income is 11 lakhs in rupees terms, and dollars at 22,000 by 2050. Asia will account for more than half the world economy. So manufacturing is also totally revolutionized by additive technologies, 3D printing, 3D dimensions, and routine to produce your own parts. Like that, now when we are talking about superpower, yes, India along with others is going to be superpower by 2025. BRICS countries, that's called Brazil, Russia, India, and China. These are the superpowers by 2025. That is the activity. That's the reason now China wants to become superpower much earlier to us. Therefore, they have introduced this virus. It's a man-made virus. They have under 5 viruses with them in Wuhan. There is the names is the Fonta X4, and there are so many things are there. These are man-made viruses which they're introducing to become world leader, so that the economy, every other economy will come down and they can become. If you see the data, there the growth rate is 3.5%, whereas every other country is minus. It's ours has gone to 23%, but now it has come down further. Now I think we'll also catch up and we'll get into next another few and by 2019-20 economic year ending or 2021 we'll catch up the whole thing and we'll be positive 3.5% GDP. So then when you looking at the what are the problems environment is talking to us, see there are the challenges which you have to forecast for us, and we have to protect like acid rains and oil spills, air and sea and pollutions, ozone layer effect, sea level rises would lead to tsunami, hurricanes, etc. Even tomorrow is expected a hurricane in cyclone in Chennai and Tamil Nadu in the neighboring states would increase the now these increases the almost 100 million people will be able to die by 2030. This is because environment is talking to us. If we are not taking care of environment properly by planting trees as much as we can and reduce our pollution levels into the zero level, which we have to do even during pandemic, yes, it has reduced very less. So similarly we have to try to do that. And there is a other mad cow diseases, swine flu, Ebola, Nipah virus, Candid virus, and MERS, that is called Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. And we have other viruses like now corona, and there is Fonta and X4, VX viruses, sarin, and these are the likely to come future. So we have to be prepared. So our opportunities to try these viruses by our pharma companies or biotechnology people have to look into it in forecasting this type of viruses likely to be there. So we have to be prepared for it. Not that once you attack, then you do it, that means it's no use. I mean, use is there, but it takes time. See now the even our virus is for the coronavirus also it takes another 2-3 months time. Already is under trials, and I think by January to March we are likely to get virus vaccination in India, especially our own Indian company Bharat Biotech from Hyderabad. They're going to release by January. And other than that, Pfizer and Oxford and other Moderna, those things will also likely to be available. So these are the required, very important. Now, another forecast which was said, resources, coal resources will not be available and vanishes from the world by another 20 years, and oil and gas reserves will be depleted in another 30 years. So when you have this type of information, is a authentic information which is forecasted by research, which is found that so only 20 years, that means coal dependent industries like a cement and power, what they do, and oil and gas like your motor vehicles or transport, what they're going to do. So we have to have alternate technologies. So I'll come back to you in those things. What are the technologies is likely to available, how we can do it, and that will come back very shortly. Another problem is the shortage of water and power. In 20 cities in India, as per the Planning Commission, will get dry and shortage of water, and it will become dry in another 1 year's time. So there is a need to save water and protect our resources in starting from the rain to water rain harvesting and many other things we have to look into. And lifespan increases by 25% globally. That is because of the health system is improving. And another problem will be a temperature rises by 1.5, 1.45 to 2.8 centigrade, which increases sea level by 5 to 7 feet, result in submerge of sea coast sites in the world. So wherever sea coasts are there, one has to be very careful. In next few years time, we have to really attempt to solve that. That means we have to protect our environment very carefully, and the people near the sea coast has to be careful. And like that, earthquake is also earthquakes are likely to come in December and this month in India. This is the forecast now. This year is likely to come, but we have to be prepared in the areas, especially north side and Mumbai, and these are the places where there is expected the earthquake. So even earlier, even I worked in earthquake project in rehabilitation, earthquake rehabilitation project, where we projected and forecasted for the Maharashtra. So we prepared a disaster management plan. So whenever earthquake comes, one has to be ready with disaster management plan. So we have to be ready and see what we can do as an industry, and what are the industries likely to come into picture because of this. And even we are talking about smart cities, there should be integrated smart cities. Those aspects has to be looked into. And when you say the land availability will be scarce and difficult to cultivate as in a same place, so the vertical farming may take place in a big way. In greenhouse, in atmosphere, we are able to grow our farm. We can grow our plants and do the agriculture in that. So as I said already, the demographic dividend is for India. So we have a very great opportunities for looking at what best we can able to achieve from India with the opportunities in the world over. When I'm coming back to the each sector wise a little bit, I'll try to focus. In agriculture, we are earlier what we had is the bullocks used to farm the farming, we using bullocks, but now there is a changes in the technology. So therefore the entire farming will be done on the fast basis. That means farming as a service base, FAAS. So now that is a new way of looking at robots. Cobots will do the farming. Hydroponics is a vertical farming. Drones used for spray pesticides and the farms, and we can manage many acres of land with a less space. And even the new varieties of cultivation of organic food, medicinal plants, it's for the cure of cancer. It's likely to be available. Indoors vertical technocentric with the controlled environment farming agriculture. That means 1/4 of acre land grow with the equivalent of 80 acres worth of crops. That means in a quarter acre place, you can grow 80 acres of land agriculture. So that total revolutionizing the entire thing. It's already started in US and Germany and Japan and Israel. They are working on this particular greenhouse concept, and they are going to have the vertical techno centric mate of things. And there is a soil, also new creation of soil, which can take less water and consume less water and try to grow in a organic food. So these are the concepts are coming in a very big way in the future. And coming to the in agriculture, everything is going to be changed from the what I again saying that the manual to machines or robots or cobots. Like taking the biotechnology, the genetic and molecular that extract cells, machines extract cells and reprograms and reimplant them in the body. Like you can prepare, you can manufacture artificially the body parts. That is going to come in a big way. Stem cell therapy, synthesis, tissue culture, gene therapy, biofertilizer from municipal waste. And actually, as when I saying that environment protection, this is very important. Municipal solid waste has to be treated and used. So not to throw it everything, where wastewater has to be converted into a drinkable water. which is possible today with the technologies available bioprocess, which you can have, you can be able to even cuvums and dirty sewage water can be totally cleaned and make use of that. There is the technologies and genetic engineering to fight diseases. And another is the bioplastic plants. You can use you can make bioplastics from the agriculture products like a corn, maize, and we can be able to, and there are many other crops. Instead of throwing waste, you can be able to make the plastic, bioplastic, which can be dissolved in the environment. And bioprocess sewerage water, what I said already, bioinformatics and biotech digitization by creating skin and various organs. That is going to come in the future. And today, when we are looking at biotechnology is growing, like today's vaccination also happening through biotechnology forms and pharma forms. So there is a lot of research one has to do. And India is not concentrating on this. Not industry is not even spending any money on research, which is one of the determinant factor. The future of industry should think in a different way and first to focus and try to work on the research and development. And when you're looking at the energy sector, the artificial solar system is being created in south of France, which is 10 times more powerful than the sun. Then 7 countries are involved in this project, mainly Europe, USA, Russia, South Korea, India, Japan, and China. They are likely to be complete in year 2021. 2020 or 2021. Because of the pandemic, it is just postponed. Recently, L&T has sent the cover. If you would have seen in the cover of the entire, this particular artificial solar system is 7 times, 10 times more than the sun power, which will be sufficient for the world energy requirements. And is likely to, now the cost of this particular project is 1.25 lakhs crores. And project started about 33 years back. At USA, the planning has been done in 1987. It's plasma technology using hydrogen bifurcating electrons and protons. That's called a nuclear fusion. India is manufacturing in our Indian contribution is India is manufacturing 54 components and manpower contribution to the project. Implementation agencies ITER, Tokamak International R&D project. So this is one of the important, the cable slide under the sea to all the countries wherever is required. Is a project which is coming for energy problems, for future energy problems. Solar, again, as we said, 3D cells, PV crystalline, multi-crystalline, all this will be there. So wind, nuclear, gas, biomass, algae, and you can have a skylight daylighting experience. It can be captured daylight and use it for the our own sky, our lights, instead of having power separately. So fuel from algae, even you can create energy farms. What I mean is how the energy is produced, oil is produced through algae after many years, 80 to 100 years. But in the by using bioprocess, we can catalyst, using that catalyst, we can make it in 3 to 4 years time. You can produce oil. So wherever empty lands and wastelands, you can be able to store water and put algae, then you can be able to get energy farms. This is another opportunity for young people who can look at it. Then the airborne wind energy systems, that's called AWS, airborne helium filled wind turbines, commission more than 60,000 megawatt solar power, which is going to happen, already happened in 2019. and it's going to be expanded further. And when you taking the other sector is energy, information technology. Information technology is looking at in a different space. Now, whatever we had, it is not the same thing which going to be there. It will be in a different skills which are required. Actually, another important information which I want to give, people thinking that we are going to lose jobs because of new technologies like robots and other automation, AI and other things. It is not so. We are going to create 20 million jobs, the replacement of maybe 10 million, but you're going to have 20 to 30 million jobs, new jobs are going to be created in a different skills set. So internet as mobile technology, business intelligence systems, ultra broadband, mobile video, cloud computing, advanced voice recognition for all operations instead of keyboards, digital pen, interactive gadgets, storage in biostructure. So storage is a real problem that is going to be in a biostructure. Blockchain distributed technology is going to be available and it is going to be used widely. Data analytics, virtual reality, augmented reality, Internet of Things, integration of people, process, and technology with a connectable devices is nothing but Internet of Things. Then we are going to have a chatbots and mobile and smartphones through those things. And you have another apps to help detect diseases. Software as a services, which already is there. Reskilling revolution. This is a new thing which is coming. New program language is called Kotlin. Is a new language, helps streamline Android app development and in would be platform. Then neural networks, deep learning and enhancing computing power into frontiers. Apache Kafka is a distributed streamline platform, enables compares to create real-time data fields. Like Chef software is another software automated with management, IT infrastructure, AI chips and HTPU and cloud IoT edges, robotic process automation and computation is nothing but combination of computers and communications. And another important things, and next 20 years time or 30 years time, we're going to have a brain net instead of internet, brain net. That means you can connect my brain to your brain to many brains. These are the very challenging and still people started working on it. So, but India, we are not still working on this particular technology. So we have to do like in mining, as we said, the robots and drilling are extensively used, and defense also. Even China using as a soldiers. China is already using, Japan and Germany, they are using about 15 to 20 robots for defense. So even India should do that. And in fact, DRDO already started a prototype robo as a soldier. So they can work in extreme weather conditions. And these are the areas which is going to be very high. And actually, when we looking at the industry revolution 4 and now it likely to be 5. See, now in industry point of view, there is going to be embedded systems, automatic machines for loading, unloading, CNC machines, nanotechnology, flexible manufacturing, and you have many more things. 3D printing, another additive technologies, 3D printing, machine learning, and industry revolution 5. That is more of robots are going to be along with you. That is the way things going to happen. Even today in hotels also managed completely, or airports also managed completely with the robots or machines. So there is no need human intervention in these things. So nano chips also for AC. Another important technology is nano chips for AC with a tiny box. That means your AC boxes will be in a tiny box instead of such a big one. This is a new technology which is going to be utilized, and there's a very good opportunity for many of them. And in material side, nanotechnology, alloy metals and biomaterial, composite material is going in a big way. And as I said, defense already, I said the robots, remote control weapons. And one important thing I want to mention here, there will not be any wars in the future. No wars will be there because everybody has their technologies with them, either nuclear power or remote control weapons. So, or missiles. So soldiers replaced with the robots, and even we have a mosquito insect drone, small micro nano size for the with the sensors and camera to spy and catch criminals and terrorists. So these are the new things in for the defense and security and intelligence is coming. It's like a small button type of drones are coming, and even drones are used for transportation. That will come in when a transportation comes into picture. And when you looking at the medicine and health, there is another apart from the biotechnology in the it's a complementary each other, pharma, health, and biotechnology. There is a stem cell therapy used widely, and genetic target drugs, vaccination that do not refrigeration, do not require refrigeration. Of course, today Pfizer virus vaccination cannot come to India because the temperature what we have to maintain is -70, which is impossible to get it here. So this new tech vaccines will have very less on room temperature or without refrigeration. Biology and robotics could be combined to make it possible to revitalize the paralyzed limbs. So together, biotech and biology and robotics together, we can be able to operate and new growth of new parts, and blood test to know the death day. That is my expiry day for human. What I mean here, it is possible through DNA. You can be able to find out what are the diseases likely to come for that particular person. When you test it, then it is useful for them to knowing the instead of death day, we can try to postpone it much ahead, postpone it, because you can treat them, some of them. That's the reason age expectancy is going up very high. So then viral gene therapy, diabetic monitoring through iPhone, and executing insulin for diabetic patients. There is a replacement of heart, brain, liver, which is possible. Brain is been it takes another 30 years to come, brain replacement, but heart and liver already is happening. Microscopic missions will help repair damaged cells and organs. Biobags to grow lamb, incubator to grow babies at home to replace womb and pregnancy by women. So these are the new technology which is going to come maybe after 20, 30 years time. But you can see your baby growing. Robots health advisor, that is already happening. So in aerospace, there is another very important is solar airplane, mm, bigger airplanes with less fuel and better material, supersonic plane, which New Delhi to New York in 1 hour. That is with the vertical boosting magnetic field. That means it starts with the magnetic field, it goes up and goes in a straight form in the parallel thing, then it will go down. Though this is the new technology, it's going to be available very, very soon. And then other water, as you said, the conversion of sea water to drinking water, connecting rivers, rain harvesting, check dams, recycling of waste and sewerage water, atomizer for using taps and many things. And this is a very important area where when we say that in India itself, we are going to change it. The 20 cities are likely to be affected by the water scarcity. So we have to use these technologies now. And there are so many things which you can reuse your water, wastewater in the houses itself and the apartments. So that will be useful. And excess water can be used for storing. In textile also, there is a lot of things using your plastic PET bottles can go for the and clothes, and we can get into that. And you have a spray clothes. You can new technology is just spraying just like a cloth. So that is the, without stitching anything, you can be able to cover your body and go. That type of technology next 20-25 years is going to be available. And that's some like a transparent cloth is there, which is not visible, unvisible cloth, but it's not showing anything. And in transport, as I said, hybrid cars, flying cars, hydrogen fuel cells, and electric and solar cars, intelligent cars without driving wheel, and works with the sensors, that is already is available in other places, not in India. India takes another 10 years. Electric car will be already is available now, but it will be widely used, and slowly the petrol and gas, as I said, it is not going to be there because oil and gas is not available after 30 years. So people going to use only the automated electric cars. So everything will be replaced slowly. And driving less cars, it takes time because our roads and our infrastructure is not ready for that. New mode of transport that will another important thing is hyperloop, new mode of transport that will propel people and freight through a vacuum tube at a airline speed. As Mr. Nair has sent me today, there's exactly, our Indian is first started like that. He has traveled in the this hyperloop transit system. So that is going to be for mass. It is going to be available after 5 to 10 years time. No, not before, because we are not ready for that. Then looking at the building infrastructure, as I said, when the coal is not available, what is the alternative technologies? So for that, instead of cement, as you all may be knowing, cement is manufactured with limestone and coal burning in the kiln, and you will get the cement with adding additives. Instead of cement and instead of limestone and coal, when coal is not available, what are you going to do? So there is a technology available. There is a technology which is called a green cement. It can be manufactured with a seawater and CO2, that means carbon dioxide. Another technology is hemicrete lime technology for cement. That means you use lime powder but without coal. So these are the technologies is going to come, and there's a big opportunity for this. And as you know, plastic, whatever the waste, the plastic can be utilized for the plastic roads. Robots for the construction is happening. Artificial robo metal sands are used already. And building technologies, green buildings, the concept are coming very big way. Ash doors, windows, and roads with used plastic bottles, so bags and all that, it's coming. And machinery is there for as you all know that earlier people used to dig their roads or for irrigation purpose for days together. It is replaced with the machinery, which is going to be the order of the day. And that doesn't mean that the replacement, these people can be used, manual people can be, manual manpower can be used for some other things, skilled work. Machines can be operated. So doesn't it at all not replacing the people per se. If you see earlier, when you look at the computers are introduced in the banks, people said that bank jobs will all go away, and computers are taking away their jobs. No, it's not happening. It is increased and different, but the fast and which is happening is very high. Speed on which it's transactions happening, very things very transparent and very good. So the same thing is happening to the technology in the manufacturing. Wherever it is happening, it will be automated. Things will be there. And similarly, you looking at the next is a space. As people are looking at the space, we know that our space industry is growing very well in India, and especially ISRO is manufacturing or wants to give for the privatization. And similarly, Indian government is also privatizing the public sector, try to improve, taking the private organizations to take care of the industry. Then there is a lot of things one can be looked into in space. Travel to Mars planet, which is people going to travel very soon. It is called red planet. Now already 1.8 lakh people all over world booked, and 8,000 people from India also booked for going to the Mars. Distance is 1.92 lakh kilometers from Earth, and travel time is about 300 days. Cost of spacecraft is around 450 crores in India and 4,500 crores for USA. People cannot come back at this point of time with the today's technology, but tomorrow you're going to be there, the technology which you can go and come back. Even similarly, even Chandrayaan, what is for moon also, people can go and come back. Reusable launching systems are happening. Overall, 1 lakh. Okay, this scheduled actually somewhere in May 2020, but not postponed because of the pandemic. Maybe next year again they're going to have a Mars mission. And if you're looking at education also, there is a lot of changes is going to happen in the curriculum, and also the way it is happening. The way it's like a educational transformation is going to be there. That means flexibility and quality. Pick teachers and timings as you want it, and needs and interest. Design your own syllabus. Students centric, and design your own degrees. Real world, take open book exams, flexible exams, exams on demand. These are going to come in the future. As you've seen our new education, national education policy 2020, where they're focusing more of this type of technologies to be used and the systems to be used. And then again, virtual and smart class, and MOOC, that is a massive open online course that is already started now, and it is going to be widely spread. And national academic credit is going to be the NAC. Bank is going to redefine the future of education in India. So already any subjects combination, bachelor, urban education, convert credits into degrees and diplomas, managing regular all this happening. And you can have a degree, as you said, national education policy already they mentioned that you will have a first 1 year is a diploma, then second year is a degree, and then the third year is a post degree, like different these things are they have mentioned. So similarly we are going to have, and more of online and virtual modes is going to be there, which is practicing now. Study in national international institutions also is going to happen. In fact, many students who enrolled in USA, they're working in India and completing online courses. So these are the order of the day, and it is going to be there. So some people can work on these new type of technologies, and things is going to be very challenging. And one thing which I wanted to say, why is a people management very important, is because when I said this only so many technologies is being done, the emerging technology in HR to become a future leaders. So managing technology and people together is a crucial for success of business of or any organization. This is a combination of technology and people or human beings is going to be the people management. In few years on, only one type of, even in industry also, you don't have anything like different color, blue collar, white collar and all that. Only one color will be available in industry. There will not be any color, and all manual and strenuous jobs will be replaced with the machines and robots or cobots. Future HR personnel needs to be innovative, strategic thinkers and leaders to manage business, technology, and people. They will become coaches, guiders, and mentors for moving business in the next level of operation. They need to have multiple skills, multicultural knowledge, and multidisciplinary experience to face challenges in future business. So this is at the order of the day. All the students who are listening now to look at the various skills, multidisciplinary, multi-sectorial knowledge has to be gained. Organization excellence is attainable through human resources, which are critical in implementing our, what I've said is the 8C approach is there, like create perspective plan, creativity, cost management, customer focus, continuous improvement, cultural changes, cordial people relation, communication or computation is a combination of communication and computers, and with the smartness, commitment, and cost management. These are the 10 principles one we have to follow. Instead of 8, it should be 10 principles on which one can achieve their goal. So I think that I've crossed the time and I can stop here because the 45 minutes is over. Thank you very much for patience listening. And if you allow me to take that one another 5 minutes on the video, I can just share it.
Is the video ready in your? Is
Yeah.
the video ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look at it, sir. I mean, if it is, yeah, please play.
This
Let's have a look at it.
world, what I've said it, but it is in a video form.
Okay. You have the screen share with you.
Yeah.
Prajit, the screen share is
Yes,
given
sir.
to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all done. It's all done.
Thank you, Madhav.
Yeah, it's coming now.
Yes. Has it come, Dr. Prasad? Has it come?
Yeah.
No, it is not on the screen. We are only getting you on the screen. I think the screen share has.
Okay. One
Yeah.
second. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll just. One second. Okay.
Yeah.
Share where to take, no? Okay.
Yeah.
We got to open the video and then press the
Yeah.
share screen option.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. First open the video, keep it ready, then come and open the screen share and then go back and press.
Oh, okay. I think 1 second.
Yeah, we have the screen share. We got it. Yes, we got the screen now.
Now I have to project that
Video. Yeah, go to the video and click it.
Yeah.
Video that window. Video window.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 1 second. Just 1 minute is.
Lot of calls for you also in between.
Okay,
Plenty of phone calls for you. Yeah.
No, 1 second. I'll.
Yeah. You come to your screen.
It's coming. 1 second.
No.
It's coming. 1 second. It's now it's coming. Okay. Future world. Okay.
Click it,
Now
sir.
it will come. Click.
Yeah.
New share.
Yeah. Share.
It's already shared. You can just open the window.
Open the window. Double click it.
Double click on the video.
On the video, double click it, sir.
Okay, okay.
You can see so many videos there. The right video
Yeah,
can be
great.
clicked.
He must have culled through so many videos to give us a
Yes,
video,
sir.
you know.
The World Economic Forum. Okay. 1 second, Adi. Which correct one I have to take it, not the other one. Future innovative. Yeah, it's now coming.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
it's there, it's there.
Sorry.
If there is audio, you can just increase the volume a bit. That's all.
Can you increase the audio volume, sir, on the
Yeah.
desktop? Yeah.
It's on the left hand side. The left hand side, extreme left.
Left.
Extreme left. Yeah, that
Right. Oh, it's almost on the
100.
on the 100.
it's not come. So
Sir, what we will do, if you can kindly give us the link of it, I will see that every participant actually gets it, because the
Okay.
without the volume, it is not giving us a significant impact. It's a
Okay,
wonderful
okay.
video. Okay, so Mother, we will actually take it and distribute. That's the best thing to do. Yeah, sir, it was like, we were sitting spellbinding on the Nostradamus telling us what is going to happen. So we will have to now completely rename you as a Nostradamus who has told us what is the 2030 and beyond. Okay, so much of things you have said in this last 45 minutes. Actually, as you are right, it is something like a 2-3 hour worth of a discussion, and the conversation must be there for this to happen. But you have compressed everything and you prepared yourself very well to see that this is placed before us. And then in the end, you have said that in this world, how can the people management happen? We are so happy that we are also indebted to you that you have taken so much of time to prepare it and bring it to us. It is our great miss that we are not able to see the video and its impact, but if you can give us a link, we will see that
Yeah,
every
sure.
participant also gets it.
I'll send it.
Yeah, thank you very much. In so much of things had been said, I was actually, certain things were like out of, like capturing the daylight and using it in the night. Just look at it, capturing the daylight and using it in the night. And one very significant thing that you said is the Indian industry is not spending on the research, and that is going to be problematic to us. And as you know, rightly, you said it very correctly. Think about India's manufacturing capability. You have mentioned about energy farms. You have mentioned about those algae which compresses this 300 years worth of oil making into 3 years of oil making so that you can get it. You have told us about light coming undersea. It can be sent to any light or power or energy can be sent to any country in the world undersea. So many things have been actually placed before us. You talked about no wars, at the same time robo soldiers and very minute drones, etc., working on that. And wonderfully so about the brain net, the brain net connecting the brains together. All that. That's been very spellbinding. At the same time, as you rightly started by saying, that it is very scary as well. It is spellbinding, but it is scary for those people who are on this side of their life, the right side of their life. People who are on the left side of their life, it is actually very thrilling. They must be waiting for that to happen. And also lifespan increasing, all those things have been said. So now there has been a question that I have received on the chat mode.
Yeah.
So before I go into that, I would like to ask you, or I would like to take your views on why is it that Indian industry is not spending on the research to catch up with all that is happening around us. And if we have to propel ourselves to be a world leader, a superpower, and one of the top 3-4 countries in the world, do you think without this research and development we can achieve that? What is your views on this?
Yeah, definitely. Our industries are looking at now, presently, they're looking at how much they can make money.
Yes.
Instead of really looking at the forecasting of what is the likely technologies and how better they can do.
Yes.
And they want to copy things
Yes.
from the wherever it is available. They want to do it instead of spending on the research.
Yes.
And even government of India itself spending in research is very, very low.
Yes.
And even our institutions, so-called, they are not doing any fundamental research other than the Indian Institute of Science.
Yeah.
Most of the IITs and IIMs and all these people are not doing a research which they're supposed to do it,
Yeah.
which can be implemented.
Yeah.
So therefore, Indian industry is also not taking that much interest.
Yeah.
They're taking very lightly, in the sense they are not bothered about they're bothered about the money or the profitability than what they can do for the country or the world.
So, but what will happen? So, if that is the case, do you think that we will reach that top position, sir?
No,
That is the
it's
question.
exactly. It is a compulsion on which what is happening now. For example, the COVID itself. That's the best example which I can give. Because of COVID, people have started doing research on at least some areas,
Yep.
and it's a compulsion which people have to do it. There is no other escapism.
Yes.
And in fact, all other industries also, manufacturing industries also, start looking at the research is the prime importance now. Because see, lockdown is because of lockdown. What happened? The entire production stopped. If it is automated, you would have continued with many things. Like pharma industry is almost automated, so they are able to do it. But whereas other industries are stopped. So this because of this necessitated to people to go for research and do and adopt the new technologies,
Yep.
which is going to happen at least from now onwards. So then only then we'll become a superpower. Otherwise, it's very difficult.
Connected to that is my another question, sir. Do you think the government as well as the industry have that moolah, that money or the resources available to do the research?
Yes, yes, they have.
They have.
They
Okay.
have, they
Yeah.
have, but they're not putting, because they're not thinking that much use. Now, see, vaccination, how much the even Prime Minister Modi has announced that I can give whatever the money you wanted to, please go ahead. Even for Bharat Biotech, he is offered, but Bharat Biotech has not accepted for any money, but he said we'll do it. Whereas he said we'll give 100 crores for doing the research and vaccination. So that's what it will become a compulsion. And without compulsion in India, the mindset is not there to go for the futuristic technologies.
Okay.
Whereas China is not like that. China is doing much better than us in
Because the
many things.
decision making element is much more simpler than what we have in India. We are a democracy. We are a
Yeah,
pluralistic society. We are not like them. But I have a related to that. Since you said China, I have another question on the China.
uh,
So you said that there are five more viruses to come from China. So we have already the COVID, and we are suffering due to that. So
correct.
but then it is categorized as biological warfare. If it is
Yes.
categorized as biological warfare, which is worse than nuclear warfare, so why is it that the whole world is not taking notice and limiting their involvement in the whole thing? Why
Yeah,
is
that's
it
what.
that we are still not playing? We are still not playing the referee. We are
No,
still not playing the control parameters.
yeah, that is there. Trump tried to do that and make them separate and not to do it.
Yeah.
Even he has made sanctions on trade and various other things. He wants to do certain things for the China, but
Okay.
China is playing in a dirty game. Even today, they're trying. Even
Yeah.
they're going to our Kashmir border and they try to take a trade via Ladakh and other things. But our resistance is there, but they're grown so high, it's very difficult to stop them. Now there is a today even news saying that they're having a dialogue with the Pakistan for the
Yeah, that's a photograph
un-
was available wherein they said they'll take care of the Pakistan's defense
defense
completely.
completely. So this is the where we have to be careful and we have to be ready for it. And the lot of pressure is going on, even between India and other places, even world also. Everybody is even Trump administration till yesterday, they were trying to stop China to go on this type of things.
Sir, a
But
person like Trump who couldn't do it, do you think a person like Biden with the democratic values will be able to do what Trump could not achieve, if that's the case?
that we don't know. We have to wait and see. We have to wait and
all,
see
all
how
right.
he, how
Yeah.
he is going to do for India, how he is going to do for China and Pakistan. We still a big question mark. He's
Okay.
talking
Okay.
that he will do. but definitely it's there won't be any wars for whatever say. That
Okay,
much I can tell. That's very
right.
important point to be noted.
We have a question from Mr. Raman TK. He had asked this question that, okay, you have said so many things about technology and things like that. And he said, what is a human element? How is it going to work with the new technology? Of course, you said it in the end, but since there was a paucity of time, you compressed it so much. Okay.
Yes,
So would you be able to tell that? See, my understanding about Industry 5.0 is where these technologies will coexist with the humanity, so that,
correct,
there is a synchronicity. We will be able to synchronize that. Will you
correct.
be able to, what is your views on this,
Yeah,
sir?
exactly. It synchronizes it, and we have to work to along with the machines and robots with the human in a different skill point of view. We have to operate the see robots by itself or machines cannot work by itself.
Mm.
So it has to be done by the humans only. But
Okay.
that's what I said in the beginning also. It should upskilling, upgrading, and multi skills all required to gain, so that
Mm.
they can. This is not replacing only the manual work, not the actual work. So the missions has to be like you. For example, earlier bullocks used to do the farming, whereas
Yes.
today tractors have come. So tractors have been run by the people only.
Yeah.
It cannot run by itself.
Yeah.
But that is a very rare. That's the reason we require 30 million jobs in the technology areas. That means the skill areas. It is not that great technology and which when we use it. It's using the machines.
Okay.
Even today, for plastering of the walls, or
Yeah.
is done by robots, but operated by the people.
Yes.
But what is happening is going to be faster.
Yep.
Even your bridges can be constructed in no time, and roads are can lay down within no time.
Mm.
That is happening because of missions,
Yes.
whereas a human people will take a long time to do it.
Mm.
So that is the human interface with the technology, and humans cannot be replaced by any case. You only robots will help us to do it faster.
Right. So you also said about 2050, the year 2050, things would be much more rosier
Correct,
and better healthy individuals,
correct, correct.
having not much of wars
Yes,
and the like. So if you really look at it, and also you said that by this time frame, the global economy will be tilting towards Asia, and
yes,
Asia will
yes,
have 50% of the global GDP will be
yes.
contained within Asia, which is something similar to what happened 300 years back in terms of the GDP
Correct.
count, if you really look at it. Okay. So, see, but at the same time, if you globally you look at it, there is always this looking down at Asia for a long period of time, long duration of time. Do you think that Asians will gain the respect of the world in times to come?
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. And India will become a superpower in another 5, 6 years time, or maybe a little more than that. But definitely, India is one of the superpowers, along with the China, Brazil, and BRICS countries, Russia,
Okay.
and all this together. Because
All
one
right.
country cannot become USA and all will come down, but Indian population is the highest in this, and population will be at 10.15 billion.
Billion. So
Uh,
on that, I have another question. Do you think that it is time that we control the population, or we think that demographic dividend is great and we'll let it happen,
let it happen.
blossom it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, let it happen, because today China is facing, and Japan is facing, and many countries are facing with the less population. Even China is another people. They earlier they said no children or one child. Now they are asking 2 or 3 children to be born. That is the way it's happening. So, but India should not lose this race. But people should be utilized properly. That is very important, and employment be created. When I said so many opportunities are there, people have to be guided to take certain things, which is
Okay.
not happening in this now political system. It is not happening.
Okay.
Everybody is the first of all, first and foremost, the corruption has to go. Then only the things will happen. Otherwise, the fruits cannot come to the real people.
That last question to you, sir. The last question has come from Lali Anthony. She's asking Dr. Lali Anthony, how human interaction to be defined in a technology-dominated future workplace? How will you control the human interaction in a technology-dominated future workplace? That is what Lali wanted to know.
Yeah, it is a very, that's what I said earlier also. When we have a technology to help aid a human being,
Yeah.
it is not replacing that.
Yes.
So definitely, only thing is a person or human being should learn to operate certain machines. That's it. If now CNC machine is there, for example, I'll give you CNC machine cannot be operated by the normal worker.
Yes.
He has to be educated, retrained, reskilled, and so that he can be able to do that.
Yes.
Interaction will be no problem at all when
Yes.
you get into that. So there is a training institutions, learning institutions where they have a greater role to play here. That's what the skill. I've given some statistics. How much is the learning and development institutions can get into, because they have to do this. Even world mission, sorry, India skill mission is also is there, where they wanted to project training and development is one of the main category in which for the technology upgradation only. So there should not be any problem of interface of between technology and human being. Only thing is people have to especially when I said the younger generation is going to come in a big way, because
Yeah.
30 years is the age which is
Yeah.
they can learn. Not 60 or 70 years people, you cannot ask them to do that. But whereas 30 years people can learn easily and get into easy to operate machines or those things. And definitely, I think there should not be any problem at all.
Thank you so very much, Dr. A.V. Shivram Prasad. It was the last 1 hour. It is like a sci-fi movie, scientific fiction movie, telling us what to do. And you, the Nostradamus, had been telling us how it is
Even one
going
more
to roll
thing
out.
is smart cities. I have not said that will be another area
Yeah.
where today people are saying smart cities, but not without any technologies or any smartness. Is
Yes.
only namesake. They're only they according to the some of the government officials and governments.
Yeah.
They're saying that planting some trees and some little bit pavements, that is
Uh,
a smart city,
yeah, I
which is not
understand.
so. It
This
is
is
not
not so.
so. You have to do so many.
It has
Otherwise,
to be
this flood.
truly smart.
It
It has to be.
otherwise you cannot get this floods, this type of havocs. It's not going to happen if you
Yes.
have a smart city. It will take another many years to come in, but first the mindset of government officials have to change.
I understand.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Dr.
Welcome.
Shivram Prasad. Before I hand you over to hand the session to our president and chair of the session, Madhav Chandran, let me also announce that on the 15th we have Mr. Vinod Chandran speaking about the disruptions in management. That's an
No.
evening lecture. And on the 20th, we have the StartCon, that is Start of Conversation. We are bringing award-winning company from Chertala, TechGentia, whose video conferencing solution or e-learning solution vConsole has been awarded by both NASCOM and the Government of India. Joyce Sebastian will be joining with George Sakaria of Xtravel Money. It's a marketplace for foreign exchange. We'll be bring them on the 20th, and there is some more program which our president will announce to you. Madhav, back to you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sriram Prasad, and
Thank you.
Madhav to you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, SR, and thank you so much, Dr. Prasad, for that very lucid talk which you made. And as SR rightly said, very futuristic and Nostradamus kind of predictions which you have done. And I'm sure the students and the learned scholars who are present here in this Zoom platform as well as on the YouTube forum, must have really got enlightened and enriched with your words. A very, very well researched talk which you made. And as SR said in between, there's a point which you mentioned about the lack of research, not only in industry but also even in education, which we are investing in, is could be the biggest hurdle for India to become that superpower which you are talking about. And all the points which you mentioned are worth exploring and worth researching more to understand what is in store for us and how we can actually achieve that in the years which you have mentioned there. Thank you so much for that lecture, and there were some questions there. I'm sure you must have seen some of them. Due to paucity of time, I believe we've not taken that. Thank you once again. And as SR said, we have a series of sessions coming up this month itself. This is the 1st of December. We have got this particular session which we had is on the 2nd of December. That's the first topic today. And we have one which is coming up on 10th of December. Very interesting one from the KMA Women Managers Forum, which is a panel discussion with some eminent celebrities who have been lined up. The topic is going to be very interesting. It's glass ceiling for women leaders, a myth or reality. That's a topic which they are going to dwell on. We have a very, very high profile moderator in Ms. Sneha Koshi, Deputy Editor of NDTV 24/7, going to moderate a panel which will comprise of Mr. Vijay Kamath, the Senior Director of Integrated Supply Chain and Operation Strategy of Mondelez International, and Ms. Rekha Jayagrishan, Transactions and Special Initiatives Leader at ENY, Ms. Madhavi Lal, Managing Director and Head of Human Resources at Deutsche Bank AG, and Ms. Nandini Sarkar, Global Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Leader of India at the Boeing Company. So these are the decorated leaders who are going to be there for this panel discussion, which is going to be moderated by Ms. Sneha Koshi, Deputy Editor of NDTV 24/7. This is going to happen on 10th of December. 10th of December, we have this panel discussion at 5 p.m. on Zoom as well as on YouTube. So please don't miss that. And of course, SR mentioned rightly about the next leader talk session by Mr. Vinod Chandran on 15th of December at 6 p.m. and the new series, StartCon series, once again with two award-winning startup entrepreneurs. The Extra Well Money, if you recollect, was a KMA award winner, in 2017. The Extra Well Money, and of course, the Government of India award-winning person, Mr. Joy Sebastian of V Console, also joining him. And of course, our program committee chair will be moderating discussion, and it will be very interesting, which is going to be on 20th December. So, a lot of programs lined up with the program committee as well as with other committees which are active in planning the year ahead. But before we end the session, let's have our Honorary Secretary, Jomon K. George, formally proposing the vote of thanks for today's session. Over to Jomon.
Good evening to all of you. Respected President R. Madhav Chandran, Program Committee Chair S.R. Nair, and today's very learned, experienced, seasoned speaker, Dr. A. Sivarama Prasad, Managing Committee members, and my dear KMF members. It has been a wonderful session. Past 45 minutes, we have been spellbound, as SRG rightly said, on the shape of things to come. And it is a very clear indication on how we should refabricate not only our thoughts, also our action to stay relevant and effective in the future in this VUCA world. It was really nice that we had a large number of management students lined up here. The peak attendance had crossed 150, which is very good indication that there's good response from the youngsters. As the speaker himself said, 65% of our population being less than 35. It's a big strength for India to go forward. So as when you talk about reskilling, I always say that it is not demographic dividend, it is demographic capital. By skilling or reskilling or upskilling them only that we can reap rich dividends. So overall, sir, it was a wonderful eye-opening session with a lot of relevant statistics on how things are shaping up and a lot of things, and only looking forward to brain networking with you in the future as well. as we move forward. So thank you so much on behalf of all of us here, and the President and the committee chair has very passionately listed the upcoming programs. So stay safe at the same time. Stay tuned, because we are in a virtual mode, sitting in the comfort of your offices or even your drawing rooms. You can attend all these programs. We are bringing more to you on your screens, on your desktops, day after day, week after week. So thank you so much, everyone. And I would also like to thank the Secretariat, particularly our brand new ED, Lieutenant Jojo Jacob, on just today. So, and then looking forward to working with him and then the Secretariat. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Good night.
Yeah, Madam,
thank you, Jomon. And sir, Dr. Prasad, we have a very specially curated memento coming your way. It is not just virtual, it's a physical memento, which is proof of you being here today. I just have a look at that. This is a memento of you speaking today at the KMS session.
This is real time. This is real time. This is not virtual. This is real time.
This will come to you by courier very soon, sir. Thank you so much once again from all of us here at KMA for making this session so enlightening, so enriched, and so wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you once
again.
Thank you
very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you, everyone.